We just had the driest summer on record, and now suddenly we've had about a metre of rain in the last month. And this, I think, is a reflection of what we're seeing with climate change, is these massive extremes, and these kind of natural disaster events are becoming more frequent, and they are more extreme when they happen. We all know that the capital cities are going to be okay because that's where the concentration of people is. If one section of the city is devastated, as happened in 2011 in Brisbane, other sections of the community aren't, so people can find new jobs elsewhere if that's necessary. There's new housing, there's an availability. We don't have that in the country, and we're not even a particularly small town. So, the smaller the community, the more regional the area, the greater the impacts on the community, and the longer those impacts last for. So, yeah, that is a massive challenge.
Housing is cheaper in these flood-prone areas, and the people who can least afford to be affected are the ones that are the most seriously affected. So you've really got to look at climate adaptation and responsible policies in the context of equity as well. We are talking about some of the most vulnerable members of our community are the most significantly impacted and have the least capacity to respond themselves. So we need, as a community, and a responsible government response is adaptation planning. It's actually really important when we're looking at our legal and policy frameworks, we need to be actually looking at those and making them responsive to climate change. There's certainly a critique out there that, Lismore was a daft place to put a town where the convergence of rivers. The fact is, there is a town here. That needs to be identified and addressed, and the way we do that is by looking at the whole of Australia. If we are to be a responsible government to the people of Australia, we need to look at the whole of Australia, and we need to map out the climate vulnerabilities, and we need to have adaptation plans for each of those vulnerable aspects of the community in relation to a climate perspective.